Okay, so to start my bedroom refresh, I went ahead and updated our nightstands and dresser. These nightstands and dresser are from Pier 1. They are so old they're not even online anymore, but we still like them and use them. They're solid wood, they're in great shape. So I went ahead and changed out the little round knobs for some square ones that I already had, and the round knobs are actually spray painted gold, and so I'm replacing them with some nice brass ones. And then I went ahead and just untwisted the mushroom feet and ordered these more modern ones from Amazon, which I'll link in the description. And they really kept them the same height, and they just kind of added a more sleek, modern look to a very traditional nightstand and dresser. And the dresser ones actually I had to order a little bit taller feet. So make sure you measure your feet before exchanging out for new feet. So I wanted to put something on this really blank wall. I am working on some wall paneling in our bedroom, but until that happened, I wanted something up. And so I took our gallery prints from a different room in the house and decided they would look great in here and fill the space nicely. So I tried a new technique that I saw on Instagram. I'm not sure how much I like it, but what I basically did is I used a piece of painter's tape and made sure it was level, and then I marked the spots on the painter's tape. I guess it's one way to do it. You can use a laser level as well. It was a little challenging making sure it was perfectly level, but as far as measuring and marking, that was a cinch. So I liked this technique in that regard. And then when you measure your vertical pictures, it's really the same thing. And then I just used the same piece of tape for each row, for top row, middle row, and the bottom row. And these prints are actually from the graphicsfairy.com. They were all free. I went and searched them out, found each one, downloaded them, and then I just had them printed at Costco. So the prints were super cheap. Just the cost of printing them, and I believe they're 16 by 20. And then the frames are from Ikea, which I've had forever. I took out the plexiglass because I don't like the reflection and they scratch sort of easily. So took out the plexiglass. They had the matting in them, and then I also spray painted the white frames this antique gold color, which just kind of gives it more contrast and warmth for my home. But I believe they come in black as well as white. I just want to take a quick second to ask you to give me a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel if you like DIY and decorating videos. I try to publish once a week. Sometimes I get busy and it's once every few weeks. So let's continue with the video. So the thing about the Ikea frames is that on the back side they're inset quite deep, and so it's not super easy to hang them. So I went ahead and I bought the alligator claw hangers from Hobby Lobby, and then you just find the center and hammer them in. The only catch though is that it's right at the very tip top, and so I don't know if you can see, but you can probably see my nail and hook. I don't mind that look. I think it's kind of vintage and looks a little bit unique, and it doesn't bother me at all. But if you want a no-show, you will probably have to add a different hanging hardware to the back of Ikea frames, or just get more expensive frames that have the hanging hardware. I like it this way. They're so easy to level and make sure they're straight. And it's such an economical way to go when you need 9 or maybe even more frames for a gallery wall. So this was a good answer for my project, but those are some things to think about if you decide to go this route. So the biggest mistake I made on this gallery wall was not considering the outlet on the wall at the bottom level. Had I considered that, I would have made the prints start above the outlet. So keep that in mind too. So this is a mirror from Hobby Lobby. I love it when their mirrors are 50% off. It's the only way to go. And I'm doing another technique that I saw on Instagram where you take a piece of painter's tape and you run it across the back of a large mirror or frame, and you draw where the hanging hardware is on the tape. And then you want to go ahead and level out your tape, and you'll see exactly where to mark the spots. It really saves time. And I also went ahead and found the studs because the Gorilla hooks I'm using cannot go through a stud. So I want to make sure that I clear that, and then at the very end of it, I can just kind of shift my dresser. I don't want the mirror lined up perfectly center, and so I had plenty of give on both sides to kind of line up that dresser where I wanted it. So next up, I didn't want to put too much on the wall, but the mirror alone wasn't quite enough. So I took two prints, one print and one wedding photo, and I just thought that would be fitting and nice in the master bedroom. And the frames aren't matched. They're different. One's an antique silver, one is an antique gold. But I like mixing metals. I like that vintage look. And so for these, I'm just using a laser level to make sure that they're lined up centered vertically. And then I just kind of eye how much distance I want between. I usually like only about 2 inches, sometimes less, and then just level them. So again, it's just preference, and I like this asymmetrical look. My mirror is a little off center, which I like. So that's up to you too. So to carry on with kind of the vintage farmhouse look, I have this vintage piece and a glass box with some books, and I repurposed the lamp. I'll put the link to that. That's a really fun project. You can add a new texture to any old lamp, and I love books. I love reading, and so I just added some books. I don't like filling in every single opening. I kind of like to leave some negative space, and so I just added a few things. Now this is museum wax, and you just scrape off a little bit, and this is what will hold all your wall hangings in place, so that if someone slams a door, they're not going to move, they're not going to pop off, and it doesn't ruin your walls. It's pretty awesome. So you can just make a little ball, put it behind, level it, and press it on, and you're good to go. So one thing that I love about the house we're in is there are several of the exact same sized windows, which really make it great to be able to interchange and swap them out. And so I just got these blackout velvet curtains from Amazon, and I'll put a link to those with the little clip rings. And I'm swapping out the blue for a dark deep green. It's a slight change, but I love the way it easily refreshes the space. When it comes to our nightstands, we mainly just need room for a glass of water and our phone, but I like having a few decorative elements just to kind of personalize it and add some life to the space, but keeping it simple so it's not a dust collector. And the final touch is adding this fake tree to the space. I love faux plants and real plants, but our bedroom is often dark, and so faux plants are the way to go. I'm just stuffing some old paper bags around to keep it in place, and then dried Spanish moss covers it all and gives it that finished look, and it's just organic and neutral, and it finishes the piece. Okay guys, so this is it for my refreshed look. I added a new, not a new bedspread, but a fall bedspread, moved in the bench, an old suitcase, a throw, and I don't know if you can see the green curtains, but it just looks really great with the rusty orange. Moved my orange chair in here. I love the way the gallery fills the space with the nice earth tones, and then our dresser is so much more functional with a mirror and a few decorative elements. So give me a thumbs up. Thanks for watching.